Hi everyone. Let's come to the new operation we have recently added, and it's about the MCP support. So the Mule inference connector is now having an integrated MCP client provided, which you can leverage. In the configuration, you can go to the text generation config and add the MCP server here. Make sure it is supporting SSE over HTTP because that's the only way we are supporting it. And you can use basically our MuleSoft MCP connector to deploy the server into Cloud Hub. That's what I did. I have here my two MCP servers or multiple. I just added two here. So these are the two servers. I will be interacting with MCP server demo, which is more for the ERP stuff, and MCP CRM. And I can also connect to these servers with Postman, as they have this MCP client as well. You can see the first server is providing me these tools, and the second server is providing me different tools. So it's more for CRM and ERP. So that's what I'm going to use now in my configuration. So let's go into MuleSoft, and this release is the 0.5.7 release. It will be available very soon, in latest next week. And what you can do here is basically you can go here to the configuration of the inference connector and add basically here on the bottom the MCP servers. So I will add two. One will be the ERP server, HTTP like this, and I will just remove the CRM here and copy. Now the next one will be the CRM server, and we edit exactly like the one before. And that's it. So once I've edited, we can go here and try it out. So you will see here we have added a new operation, and that's basically what I'm going to use. Let's add a listener, simple, we call it, the flow will be MCP. So MCP tooling, and here we will just call it MCP as a resource. That should be fine. And I can drag and drop now the new tooling here. And I will provide basically these different fields. And you can see it's very similar to our tooling, but it doesn't have any tools here. So the tools in the native tool template are provided. You have to give it as a JSON or array. But in this one, you don't need to provide any tools because that's what we are going to get from the MCP servers you have added. So now let's see if I have everything correctly. So we have template instructions dataset, template instructions dataset, and finally I will also copy the format reply, which will just show you the payload and the attributes. I think that's important. And once we have edited here, okay, I added it twice, remove one. Okay, I guess we are good to go. So let's start the project, save everything, and then we can try it out. Okay, so it's starting up. Let me also go here. So you can see it is supporting basically all the different LLM providers which are supporting tools. And that's what we have added here as well. So when we go to the documentation, here you will find we have the MCP tooling as well. And it's very similar to the tools native support. It depends on the model. If it is supporting function calling, and only those are supporting the MCP tooling as well. So you can see it's pretty much, yeah, except perplexity and stability, we are supporting all the other LLM providers. You need to make sure that you are selecting the right tools. All right, so looks like it is ready. Let's try it out. So we say, what is the capital of Switzerland? Just to show you what happens. It will be a slower on my machine because I'm struggling with my CPU right now. Tooling error. Okay, let's see what happened. Failed to connect to SSE. Oh, I think I know what happened. 1 second, let's go in here, and I need to, of course, remove the SSE here because that's what we are doing. So that should be fine. Now we have to redeploy the app. Probably it will do it, or I need to stop and redeploy. Okay, so let's stop and redeploy. We will be there in a minute. Okay, application is deployed. Let's redo it. And now we should see basically the result. So here you can see capital is Bern, and it's the same attributes you receive here as well. It is different when you check, for instance, when you want to ask and there is a tool involved. So check inventory for mule test 0. Now you will see it will come up with a tool execution report within the payload, which will tell you the result of the query it used. So it used the first tool, which is get inventory. That's something we have stored on our MCP server. Here you can see for ERP, we have get inventory, and that's what it is fetching here. And then you have the attributes, but you also have here the server URL and the name of the server along the tool and timestamp. The timestamp becomes interesting when you want to add additional query into your prompt. Let's say, and create a sales order. Send. So it will use now two tools because we have two tools available, get inventory and submit order. And you can see it has used two tools. So we have one tool used to get the inventory, and then the second tool used is for getting the order number created. And you can see also the time difference it took here to process these requests. Yeah. I can also get data from the other MCP server, which is get accounts I would like to have here instead of sales orders. So let's say I delete this and say get CRM accounts. So hit, and it should be, the first one should be the same, but the second one should be different. So the first one is fine. And in the second one, you can see we receive all the different accounts in the results, and it shows you also the second server it used, and the tooling is also the one which was used for reasoning by the LLM is visible here. So that's the way you can use the MCP servers directly in the Mule inference connector. Just make sure to not do the same mistake I did with the SSE endpoint. Just provide the MCP server URL, so SSE over HTTP, and that should it be. So it will give you the ability to connect to MCP servers in order to use tools. Thanks a lot.